Most lawns stay green and growing all the way to Halloween and beyond. And although we have to keep mowing the lawn this time of year, does that actually mean that we have to keep watering it? Panning back and looking at lawn care as a season over season affair, it's clear that what we do in the lawn in the fall has an enormous impact on the way that the lawn looks and performs in subsequent years, otherwise known as next spring and next summer. The thing is, if you stop watering your lawn in the middle of October, then most lawns, unless you're getting a lot of rain, are going to start going dormant naturally by around the first week or so of November. Now, that's fine for most people, but it's not actually ideal. Lawns that go dormant for the winter earlier in the season tend to thin out more and have more bare patches and bare dirt showing in the spring the following year. We call this winter kill. Basically, for nearly identical lawns, like side by side, if one lawn were to be watered into November compared to the other lawn that stopped irrigation in middle of October, the lawn that was watered into November would look better earlier in the spring and throughout the entire course of the spring, and would be less likely to need grass seed in the spring. If you literally don't want to have to buy grass seed and you don't like having bare patches, like bare dirt, mud showing in the middle of your spring lawn, then keep the irrigation session going for another few weeks. It's gonna be worth it. And here's the catch. If you do keep watering the lawn throughout the course of the fall into November, you're gonna need way less water compared to what you were putting down a couple months ago. This time of year, water that hits the soil of your lawn is not going to evaporate the way that it did in summer or even in spring. Evaporative loss this time of year is so low, is so slow, that you could probably irrigate once every 10 days for the vast majority of places around the country and be just fine. As opposed to shutting the irrigation system off in your lawn, if you keep it on and water the lawn once somewhere on the 20th of October, the 30th of October, and the 10th of November, then your lawn's basically going to be perfectly well hydrated all the way to November, when it naturally goes dormant because of sunlight and cold temperatures. You don't want your lawn going dormant because of a lack of water. Dormancy based on seasonality as opposed to thirst is how you keep your lawn alive over the course of the winter. When a lawn is dehydrated, when it is lacking in water, it is significantly more likely to experience winter kill. Now, for those of you who are worried about winterizing your irrigation system before first frost, I really want to encourage you to change your mindset a little bit. First frost has to do with the air temperature. As the air temperature drops to close to that 30-degree mark, you're going to see frost on the grass. But air temperature is extremely different, very, very different than this soil temperature. Your irrigation system typically resides between 6 to 12 inches below the surface. At that level, even during first frost, your soil temperatures are still probably closer to 50 degrees than they are to 30 degrees. Literally, watering your lawn on the day of first frost is going to warm your soil up, not cool it off. The air cools it off. The water is coming from deep in the ground where it's warmer. Now, if you do actually want to put your lawn into dormancy earlier in the season for whatever reason, then halting the irrigation schedule is the way to go. That's the best, most effective way of getting the lawn to go dormant earlier in the season that I know of. For those of you who rely on regular irrigation throughout the season, that's basically the best way to do it. But there's really only a small amount of people out there that I recommend do that. The vast majority of people should be irrigating their lawn well into November and relying on Mother Nature to put the grass into dormancy as opposed to a lack of water. Thing is, fixing a lawn in spring is hard. So if you have a lot of winter kill, that's a task that I don't recommend you take on. It's not something I want to do. I do it because I have to, but it's not something I want you to have to do unless there's some crazy reason why it's necessary. I know for a fact that it's super tempting to turn in the lawn for the whole rest of the year, somewhere around like the 15th to 20th of October, and just call it quits, but it's just not worth it for the vast majority of people. Those few extra irrigation sessions make so big of a difference. Now, this is literally just one of a handful of things that you need to do when grinding out the end of your lawn care season. There's a few other things that are just as important. If you want to actually end your lawn season on the best footing possible, then make sure to watch this video up here. This is all about all of the stuff that you can do right now at the end of October, middle of fall, late fall, to give yourself the best ending possible. You want to end strong so that you can start next year with a head start over everyone else on your block. Watch that video next.